Listen, Monk Mo gang, you know what's going on. Listen, bro, I just came from the gym because I'm not a victim. I repeat, I just came from the gym because I'm not a victim. At the end of the day, be wary of rich victims. You can still be a multi-millionaire. You can still be a millionaire. You can still have 300K, 500K on YouTube and still be a victim. Money has nothing to do with your mindset. At the end of the day, you can push agendas all day. Like Mr. Organic. Mr. Organic is pushing agendas because he doesn't want you to win. I repeat, Mr. Organic is pushing agendas because he does not want you to win. At the end of the day, he's telling people he needs more white friends. White friends have nothing to do with your success. At the end of the day, even if you're a white person, you don't need more white friends. What you need is yourself. You have a thing called social media. And on social media, you can have your own ecosystem. You do not need to shake hands with people that you do not like. Mr. Organic wants you to go around people that you do not like. Mr. Organic wants you to dap hands with the wolves of society that will play your face. At the end of the day, do not listen to the dude who is straight Neo in the Matrix, vroom, 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 from Jim Jules. At the end of the day, a lady Snapchat me all her curves today, and she looked exactly like Jim Jules. I repeat, she looked exactly like Jim Jules, and I rejected it. Respectfully, at the end of the day, I left her on scene. Because listen, I'm not trying to be seen. What I'm trying to do is go on a generational run. Mr. Organic does not want you to go on a generational run. Listen, he wants you to chase cat for the rest of your life and be a loser, be a nobody. At the end of the day, listen, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. I'm in a penthouse right now. I could change up my backgrounds like a snap of a finger. I could change up my backgrounds 7 times a day. You got to understand, to get to the penthouse, to get the multi-millions, you don't need to dap hands. You don't need to shake hands. How are you doing today? He wants you to be a victim. Listen, you got to watch out for 30-year-old victims. You got to watch out for 40-year-old victims. He feels like race is a factor because he didn't choose to continue to make an exotic car dealer. He didn't continue to make exotic car POVs. Listen, if he would have stayed making videos about the Dodge Demons, the Hellcats, the supercars, he would have went whew. But instead, he wants to fit into society. This is what you call when people want to fit into society. Mr. Organic wants to fit into society. He is a warlock. At the end of the day, he believes in ancient Egyptian. He believes in the ancestors. We do not believe in the ancestors. At the end of the day, we do not worship the dead like Mr. Organic. He wants you to go hang out with other wolves so they can find out how much you're making so they can set you up. At the end of the day, when a lot of melanated people, listen, they leave comments like, prove it. Prove you're in a penthouse. Why? So you can set me up? Listen, that's a setup. When people tell you to prove yourself, listen, I repeat, when people tell you to prove yourself, that's the setup. You got to see the setup before it happens. Listen, they don't care if you got it. They just want to see that you actually have it so they can pull up, oh yeah, he be over here. He like to eat at the Chinese spot at 7:30 p.m. He like to eat at the Mexican restaurant at 3 p.m. He loved enchiladas. At the end of the day, they trying to know your moves. At the end of the day, you do not need to click up and be friends with these people. You can have your own podcast and you don't have to, you do not have to click up with people. They don't want you to be an introvert because introverts run the entire world. When I say introverts run the entire world, the guys who don't want to be your friend, the guys who don't want to shake hands with you, they run the entire world. And they're getting limited disrespect. We only get disrespected through social media. Literally, we only get disrespected through social media because nobody's around us. We're in full focus mode. It may take longer, but we're still going to get there. And we don't have to sell out. Trust me. We can start off with the C8s, the TRXs, the Raptors. Then we can get to the Lambo Uruses. Then we can get to the McLarens. Then we can get to the SVJs. Then we can get, bruh, listen, I'm going to show you. I'm literally going to be in Texas. I'm going to be in Dallas for 2 years. After I hit that 730-day mark, I'm going to Miami, and the merch is going crazy. I'm pulling up to Miami in a McLaren. McLaren GTs. We're going to start off with the McLaren GTs. Then we're going to go to McLaren 570s. Then we're going to go to McLaren 720s. At the end of the day, that's going to be for Miami. But for the Texas move, if it's not Miami where dudes or where people are used to pulling up in supercars, listen, if you're down south, if you're in Texas, listen, the Corvette is your friend. Listen, the Mopars, if you're in the Midwest, because a lot of Mopars are in the Midwest, but down south, like unless you're in like Frisco, Texas, or really, 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 really safe neighborhoods, don't get the Mopars. Get the Corvette C8s. The Corvette C8s are respected, and you can still run up the numbers, run up the merchandise. At the end of the day, 2026, we sliding. POV videos on the way. Twitch streaming on the way. We can start a gaming channel. We don't need friends for that. Listen, all you need is an ecosystem through social media. You got Twitch. You can have your own ecosystem. You don't need to dap and shake hands with people. This is 2025. Those are victims that want to fit in. Don't be fooled by the people who have resources. I also have resources, and I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. I repeat, you do not have to do that. Get your body right, because Mr. Organic is not in shape. This dude like a stick figure. I'm telling you, he showed him workout videos, but he be looking at bubbles in the gym, and he's not really working out like that. He be hanging out with King 6'8" the Great. They just be talking and laughing in the gym, showing how dominant they are. Showing, ooh, look at that brown bunny. Look at that white bunny. At the end of the day, we don't got time for that. We all the way locked in. Listen, I'm 23 in the penthouse. This dude, Mr. Organic, is in his 40s. And he talking about, oh, if I was white out. Man, shut up. You're a victim. At the end of the day, look at Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's a $1 billion victim. He's a billionaire victim. At the end of the day, he over there groping white men. He in the cities with the most beautiful women, but instead he want to grope a white man. He's a victim. At the end of the day, resources do not mean you're not controlled. You need to be free with the resources. At the end of the day, I'm on your side. At the end of the day, if you rock with my content, you know what it is. Listen, bro. At the end of the day, stop listening to Mr. Organic content. He's telling dudes you need to go around people. He's the same dude that said you need to be around women 24/7. Then when you're around women 24/7, you're gonna get disrespected. This is disrespect culture in the Western societies. You do not need to be around disrespectful women at all, bro. You gonna have to, bro. Jim Jules literally almost destroyed their whole podcast. They got a bunch of electric computers and stuff around, electric buttons and everything like that. She throwing water bottles. At the end of the day, that's not what you need. You're gonna have gray hairs like Fresh. You're gonna have gray hairs like Fit from Fresh and Fit podcast. Then you're gonna have to use some type, bruh. These dudes hang out with Bandman Kevo. I can't respect Bandman Kevo. Bandman Kevo, he's a scammer. He's a liar. You cannot trust a scammer. Bruh, how you know he even made that money legit without scamming people, bruh? Once a scammer, listen, I trust him to always be a scammer. At the end of the day, Bandman Kevo, he scammed his body. At the end of the day, he got surgery for that. This dude went and got surgery to be 6'8". Listen, we don't believe in that. At the end of the day, you could be 4'11", hop out the Ferrari, take all the tall dude's girlfriend. Listen, I smashed the dude's girlfriend. She was a yellow bone. At the end of the day, I smashed her, bro, and he was 6'8". He was 6'8", looking like an outside linebacker, Division One. I'm 5'7.5". Listen, stop playing with me. At the end of the day, you got to understand. You do not need to go around other people. What you need to do is run up the numbers with this content, run up the merch. In the age of social media, you can bring out the supercars. You can start off with the C8s. If you in the Midwest like Arizona, places like that, you can bring out the Mopars. Listen, I'm bringing out the TRXs too. At the end of the day, listen, the C8 gonna get me another C8. I'm gonna have two C8s. Then I'm going to get the TRX on the side of that. C8 TRX. At the end of the day, I got to get two C8s because the car that I do content in is going to have my social media name in it. I'm not just daily driving that car. That car is only, that C8, the one C8 is strictly for content only. So no YNs try to, you know what I'm saying? I switch it up because listen, I switch it up. At the end of the day, they will never know my moves. They will never know unless I tell them. At the end of the day, the second C8, they not even going to know. Listen, I'm doing POVs. Listen, when I show the outside of the car, I might show an all silver C8, then go get it wrapped the same day, a different color, and you won't even know. At the end of the day, listen, Monk Mode Gang, you know what's going on. Listen, bro.